Shalom to elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American, West Indian Haitians, and the foreign Israelites that are scattered across the four corners of the earth. I want to give all praises to Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawashi. This is when I say that all the foreign Israelites, the ones that look like the other nations, who are Israel. So, like I said, I want to give all praise to Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawashi. I got to give all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who led me to this truth and have been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, and show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who are part of the elect. Lord willing, we be part of that number. Lord willing, us be edifying to those who fear in the name of the Lord and strive forth to show the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 5, and is not slight. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9. So I was listening to the apostles, and they always make very edifying points. And one was, dealing with it was Elder Apostle Rawchaa, and he was talking about how all of us have our own test to go through. And right now I'm having a test of, like, I did a video a couple of days ago about having a wife. I've never had a wife, so this is going to be a new challenge for me, and it's going to be part of my test to see how I react, determining on how things go. And I have a lot of faith that Yahawashi and Yahawashi has guided me for this to come out something that will exalt the name of Yahawashi and Yahawashi. And, I've had relationships before, and I've been through relationships I've been let down in, I've been cheated on, I've been left before, but this is different. To be with somebody in the truth, it's different. So this isn't something that, I could just say that I'm an expert on, but it's just part of my testimony, just to show that, you're going to go through things, that you've never faced in the truth. We have to pray to Bahasham, Yahawashi. He gives us the strength to overcome, and the best way to do that is listening to your elders and taking heed to what they say. Always take heed to what the elders say. Don't take it lightly, because they're for our good. All of GMS is. So, that's just something I wanted to kind of put out there, because I don't want anybody to think I know everything. Like I said, I'm still just a student. I'm nobody, I'm just a servant of the hopeful elect, trying to get my act together and, make sure that, I'm in order with, the governing body of Yahawashi and Yahawashi, So we're going to get over here and we're going to get into these lessons. And the title of this lesson before I got to go to the plantation is the MOTB, CBDC/DCMA, which is basically the digital currency monetary authority. Okay, it's DCMA. It's on the move again. And then I got some various other end time topics as well. So we're going to look up right here. We're going to go through a couple of these videos, and I'm going to put in some precepts. I don't have too many videos today. I've been trying to kind of, I usually pull up a lot of different news articles, but I'm trying to get more narrowed into the more specific topics. And then, I'm going to have some topics on the side that are dealing with prophecy as well, but they're not as major prophecies. A lot of them are just things that were said to be, and all of them are major prophecies, honestly, but they're not the ones that we're waiting on. We're waiting on the MOTB to be made mandatory. We're waiting on World War III. We're waiting on America, Babylon the Great to be destroyed, and Jacob's trouble. Jacob's trouble is this MOTB system being set up us going through these trials and tribulations, us being tested. Revelations chapter 20, verse 4, where, the people, who are tried, and some of us will be beheaded for this truth. Uh, there's going to be a lot of things that happen, people getting drafted into World War III. All these things must come to pass where the end comes. And we're mainly waiting on that MOTB to be made mandatory. That's when it's going to be, things going to start kicking off. It's going to be fast, and the elders and apostles are saying that we might be here another year. Well, you know what? We're going to wait on Yahawashi and Yahawashi. We're going to continue in the work. So we're going to start with this first article. It's Fed Now. It says, as Fed says, Fed Now early adopters pay pass to instant payments. So we're going to watch over this a little bit.
Hi everyone, I'm Hal Levy at payment.com, and we are on a panel discussion today. We're asking a tough question. The tough question is, have we paved the way for instant payments? And I am joined today by a panel of experts. We're happy to have you, and I'll introduce each of you now. We're joined by Birth Source Bank Vice President of Cards, Payments and Strategy, Jim Hunt. Binsley founder and CEO, Bhushan Rangachari, and Federal Reserve Senior Vice President, Head of Payments Industry Relations, Connie Fine.
So see, these are some big faces.
Happy to have you. Welcome.
Thank you.
So let's take a step back and see where we are. First question is for you, Connie. I think it sets the stage. Obviously, anybody joining this webcast and even vaguely aware of the discussion of instant payments has to be aware of that now we're inching ever closer to certainly a much anticipated launch. Just a few weeks away, and let's get a sense from you where we are now. Could you take us through some of the newer details or some of the functionality that we can expect in just a few short months for FedNow service, and how does that set the stage for a discussion on instant payments in general?
Yeah, thanks, Hal. I am very excited about our recent announcement that we are launching the service in July. And we're proud that, with the partnership of our pilot program participants, we've been able to deliver this early in our original 2-year target window. It really wouldn't have been possible without, in the trenches collaboration. So in July, we launched the service. It'll encompass that end-to-end instant payment clearing and settlement, along with a lot of features that will help participants with reporting and liquidity management, things that will support risk management and fraud management. So a really full-featured service that can deliver value on day one. But post the launch, we've also designed the infrastructure so that we can really enhance the service in an agile and iterative way. So participants will see features and functionality coming forward on a pretty regular cadence, especially over the first year and a half, as we build it out to, really our vision of a Cadillac infrastructure. As part of, preparing for that July launch, this week was a really critical milestone. We opened the window for formal certification of participants. So our pilot, our processors, our financial institutions who want to be there on day one, go live, are beginning a program to work through all of the testing requirements and expectations and validation exercises.
So basically what she's saying is there's already people preparing to go part of this. And they're testing it and they're doing all their runs and making sure it runs good, make sure everything's working. There's some other questions to talk about, supporting financial operations, choosing a service provider, instant payments, use cases, and implementation strategy. See the implementation? They talking about it implementing. You know what they talking about implementing? That doggone charagma, in a subtle way. is what they're saying. Because this is one of the first steps, you know, to seeing who all is with this, you know. And this is all them talking about it. I don't want to go too far into it, but we're gonna watch a little bit more.
Those that complete that by mid-June will be eligible to be with us on day one.
So see, they got it where they gonna implement it. They got people trying to sign up and have it all before June, and there will be people that do it.
We launched, and we'll spend, you know, late June into early July doing production environment validation with that group. We've got over 120 pilot participants. A good number will be ready, I think, for that launch, and represent, you know, a variety of processors who support financial institutions.
See, they already got people signing them now. So that's just a little bit, you know, here's the article if you want to go look more into it, you know. Then we got right here, the Real ID Act. Everything you need to know. It's coming out here in Oklahoma in May the 3rd. Okay. So see, they're not gonna, if you don't got that real ID, you're gonna start getting limited. Okay. So if you just got like a regular ID right now that don't got that little I'm a real American citizen, this is the first step of them making the Karagma mandatory. Starting with little stuff like this, slowly forcing you to have to, you know, get into where they like, all right, you gotta do this. So it says we may have noticed Transportation Security Administration signs posted at airport security checkpoints warning travelers, okay, warning travelers about upcoming ID requirement changes. So what exactly are these changes and what do they need to do to be ready? We'll break down exactly how Real ID works, including what the Real ID Act means for you and how you travel. So let me see. So this is what's going on. It says it says the cards also use new technology, making them much more difficult to forge. So they're trying to get it to where, you know, they got way more technology, and you never know, that doggone Real ID got a doggone tracking device in it. Your phones already do, so it don't matter. Due to various roadblocks in the COVID-19 pandemic, who have taken the federal government nearly 20 years to implement the act fully, a gradual process it has been to make some confusion as each state has a different status. The original date compliance was October 1st, 2020. However, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the first deadline was delayed October 1st, 2021, then May 3rd, 2023, now May 7th, 2025. All states must comply by May 7th, 2025. We must know a lot of travelers are concerned that they will lose the ability to fly, drive, or vote as a result of the Real ID Act, Real ID Act, but this isn't the case. You can continue to use your regular license or identification to drive or vote without obtaining a Real ID. But it's going to come to the point, see how they say you can't do none of that? It's going to come to the point where you can't, okay? And we don't even know if they'll speed it up or not, okay? We don't know, but we know that they're moving up on that, you know? So I'm gonna pull up a few precepts about this, and then we're gonna get into, you know, some other topics. So and what people don't get, I was listening to GMS and the Truth for Orlando, and, you know, and a couple other brothers, you know, I was listening to a lot of the brothers, you know, and you know, we know this is mainly for the honorable multitude, but, you know, for me, since I'm so new in truth, I do watch a lot of the brothers' videos because I've been edified by them, you know. They've helped edify me in a lot of ways and helped build up my ability to even be able to to go out to the highways and byways, starting with the elders and apostles, of course. But they've helped me in a lot of ways. Studying after these men, they've taught me a lot of things. And he was saying he had a video and they were talking about how, and I even said this one time, last time, the dollar fell, everybody was using it, and it didn't crash. It didn't completely like destabilize. This is going to be something that's new. We've never faced the dollar becoming, like we've never faced the dollar just being completely obliterated. Okay. He said that it would turn us into Venezuela. Okay. They said they was eating zoo animals over there. Okay. That's how bad it was. Okay. So we need to be keeping up with these prophecies, in every way that we can. But we're going to look up Genesis chapter 18, verse 20. It says, and the Lord said, Bahasham, because the cry of Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and because their sin is very grievous, I will go down now and see whether they have done altogether according to the cry of it, which has come unto me, and if not, I will know. So the men turned their faces from thence and went towards Sodom, but Abraham stood yet before the Lord Yahawashi. Abraham drew near and said, wilt thou also destroy the righteous with the wicked? And this is what's going on right now. The Lord's not going to destroy America, Babylon the Great until, the elect are sealed. Ezekiel 9, chapter 4. So this is the same story happening again. I'm not saying that, Abraham is specifically asking the Lord about Sodom and Gomorrah right now. But what I'm saying is that the Lord is not going to destroy this place until the elect are sealed. So that's what we're teaching for. That's what we're going out to the highways and byways for. We're not going out for the rest of the nations. We're not going out for the rest of the people. We're going out to seal the elect, wherever they may be, so we can get these prophecies going. If we can't get them going, the Lord's going to get them going. But this is part of prophecy. He's making us do this so he can finish what he's doing. So Lord willing be part of that number. But right here, Revelation chapter 11, verse 8, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city. When you look in Ezekiel chapter 37, the valley of dry bones, that's what it's talking about. It's spiritually dead. Our people are spiritually dead here. 2/3 of our people are not focused on none of this. Okay? What spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where our Lord, Yahawashi was crucified. And Lord was crucified in Rome, right? Well, this is the revived Roman Empire. And it talks about, I think it's Revelation 17:11. It talks about the beast that's wound was healed and was given power, okay, to come back. And that is this empire, okay? This is the revived Roman Empire, okay? This is the new spirit. This is the new Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom and Gomorrah had 5 states or 5 cities. And Zoar was the one that wasn't destroyed because that's inevitably where Lot fled. But, this is basically like a new Sodom and Gomorrah, and it's got 50 states. And this time it's going to be on a very mass scale, and they're all going to be destroyed. This is the last battle. So, I'm going to keep reading. And it says, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, where the Lord was crucified, and they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half. And that 3 days and a half is basically, after that 3 days and a half, Abba Bibbins, who we believe is John the Baptist reincarnated, whether you want to accept it or not, came back and put this truth out here, okay? And started waking up the elect of Israel, whomever they may be. We're the hopeful elect. We hope to be of the elect, but this is what Abba Bibbins is doing. and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry and send gifts one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwell on the earth. Who's the prophets? The northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. You know, of Israelites that were scattered across the four corners of the earth. So that's what's going on right now. You know, they're tormented because of what we're doing. Okay, that's why they took us out last time. So now we're gonna do Jeremiah 50 verses, because I don't want to get you off track. Jeremiah chapter 50 verse 11. Let me put this over there. Salakia. Okay, and it reads, because you were glad, because you rejoice, O destroyers of my inheritance, because ye are grown fat as the heifer at grass, being able to do all these real ID acts and all this other stuff, and bellow as bulls, your mother shall be sore confounded. Who's that? Great Britain. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert, because the intercontinental ballistic missiles. Because the wrath of the Lord Bahasham Yahawashi shall not be inhabited. This shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at her plagues. And that's what's going on right now. The other nations are hissing at this place. They hate this place. They've always been trying to get at this place. Okay? So, you know, we're going to put up a couple more precepts. Jeremiah 59:9. Okay. All right. Hold on. Hold on. Salakia, hold on. I don't know what I wrote right there. I think it's supposed to be Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 9. Okay. Yeah, I want to just go up a little bit and read right here. Below, I will raise up and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations. We've had the BRICS nations and the other nations that join together with them from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows with the intercontinental ballistic missiles shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. And Chaldea shall be a spoil, and all that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith the Lord Yahawashi. And so while they're trying to set up this digital currency system, they're going to be destroyed. So now we got to go right here, over here, to China may be one step closer to attacking Taiwan. Okay. And they know if they take over Taiwan, then that's going to be a major blow to this place. And so that's what they're doing. They're trying to advance and taking down this system, monetary system first, and then they're going to attack. You know, that's how it always starts. So we're going to watch some of this. Look at that, all them boats is around Taiwan right now. All them Chinese boats. Bear with me.
I feel this rage in America.
China may be one step closer to attacking Taiwan, staging massive military exercises miles off the Taiwanese coast. Senior defense officials in Taipei say 12 Chinese warships surrounded the island, simulating a sea and air blockade for the second time in 8 months. Taiwan's military says 3 days of war games reveal rapid progress by the Chinese Navy, what appear to be the first ever simulations of aircraft carrier strikes with a highly advanced J-15 fighter fleet China calls the Flying Shark. On the Taiwan Strait, China's Shandong aircraft carrier launched 80 fighter jet missions and 40 helicopter flights. The drills came with an ominous warning. China's military is ready to fight. The Taiwanese military issuing a strong condemnation, saying it does not seek to escalate, but is determined to safeguard its sovereignty.
Is Beijing, in your view, threatening Taiwan with war?
Yes, indeed.
Taiwan's Foreign Minister Joseph Wu speaking exclusively to CNN, condemning China's military moves. Menacing imagery shows a barrage of ballistic missiles aimed at the island. China launched real missiles over Taiwan for the first time last year.
Look at the military exercises and also their rhetoric. They seem to be trying to get ready to launch a war against Taiwan.
China calls the drills a serious warning against the Taiwan separatist forces' collusion with external forces and a necessary move to defend national sovereignty and territorial integrity. China's exercises, like similar drills last August, followed high-profile meetings with U.S. House speakers Nancy Pelosi in Taiwan, Kevin McCarthy in California. Meetings the foreign minister calls crucial to counter decades of diplomatic isolation by Beijing.
China cannot dictate how Taiwan make friends. And China cannot dictate how our friends want to show support to Taiwan.
Support including 9 rounds of weapons sales to the island under the Biden administration alone. U.S. intelligence believes the People's Liberation Army is acting on orders from President Xi Jinping himself. The PLA told to be ready by 2027 to take Taiwan by force. One U.S. general claiming it could happen even sooner, in 2025, 2 years from now. A war that could involve the U.S. and its allies, as this fragile island democracy fights to fend off a future Chinese attack.
See, that's gonna be the start of World War III right there. Look at that, man. They're not playing, man. They're not playing. And depending on, because you know how Esau, Edom, and them is, okay? You know, stuff might get live, man, and they got to speed it up. So, I want to put this in here. Deuteronomy 32:7 says, remember the days of old. That's what we're doing. Days of old and rehearsing the righteous acts of Bahasham, Yahawashi. What we're doing is the heritage of the saints. Is to seek out this man's wickedness and seek out the other nation's wickedness until there's none left found. And it's always going to be something to find. Remember the days of old until the place he is destroyed. Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee thy elders, and they will tell thee. See? You got to have your elders. They're going to tell you how you need to be moving, how you need to be, what you need to be paying attention to. You know? That's how we know these things. That's how we're able to remember how to, serve Yahawashi correctly. We got to pay close attention to our elders and apostles and take notes and not take this as a game, We want to ultimately, not let Yahawashi down. Okay? And this right here, what I'm dealing with right here, this right here, I want to deal with 2nd Ezra chapter 5, verse 8. We're going to watch this for a second. I only had a scripture for this. And this is going to just show you some things that are going on. Okay. Okay, so it says a collection of strange blobs. So we're gonna watch this. This just got music. So if you see it, if you can see them, look at that. Look at all that, man. They're not single organisms. It's not an individual, but a colony of different specialized organisms, each responsible for different functions: feeding, protection, reproduction. You know, they're like a body of different like things. They can watch to destroy due to strong winds. In addition to higher reproduction rates. A sting is very slight and possesses little risk to humans. So basically what this is talking about is, you know, this is something unusual for these dead species of jellyfish to be splashing up on the shore like this. But it's right here in 2nd Ezra chapter 5. This is considering the days of old, you know, being able to look back and say, man, what is prophets? It's like you. The Lord already had his prophets to write this stuff. Oh, come on, man. I don't even have that much stuff pulled up. Okay. So like I said, you know, this is something that, you know, this is ways to consider in the days of old, you know, going into the scriptures and seeing this stuff happening in real time. So 2nd Ezra chapter 5 verse 8 said, there shall be a confusion also in many places. See, they're confused why this kind of stuff is happening, but we know why. And the fire shall be oft sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places. That's why you got this happening. Bears going and searching in people's trash cans. They catching all types of coyotes and stuff in places they not used to be because their habitations have been destroyed. And menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. Who's those? Those people who doing school shootings, you know, people who just doing monstrous acts, evil, wicked stuff. You know, that's how we know we're getting closer to the end. But not let alone that, we got this going on. Okay, BRICS advancing and eliminate the U.S. dollar system. So while they're trying to make their Fed now, the BRICS is all together now. They're formed. BRICS nations are advancing at a fast pace to eliminate the U.S. dollar-dominated financial system. First step is to bypass the U.S. dollar. The second step is to create a new currency to settle international trades. While the step is already in practice, the second step could be to put in place after the BRICS summit in August 2023. So after they have became digital, right after July, in August, they're going to be doing this. And that's why I said that they might not be, that other video I did, I talked about how I said that they won't even be, they won't be able to pay their bills by September. Because why? Because they're getting done this. The alliance countries have already taken measures to bypass the U.S.-dominated global financial system. The aim is to move away the dependency of the U.S. dollar and to provide an alternative global financial option. The BRICS is an alliance of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. So, you know, just recently, BRIC nations took over G7 countries and global GDP while taking purchasing power parity into account. Russia announced that it would pay with the Chinese yuan to settle trade with Asian, African, and Latin American countries. And they just helped Africa get out of a lot of that stuff. So who do you think side they gonna take? China and France completed the LNG gas trade using yuan, ending the dollar's reliance on energy trade. Therefore, BRICS is currently successful in their plans to eliminate the U.S. dollar to settle global trades in native currencies. However, if the alliance countries agree to a mutual currency settle trade in the upcoming summit in August, the dollar may face a significant drop on demand. So what happens if that happens? It's going to be a lot of high prices over here. It's going to be, it's basically going to be useless. Okay. So right here, it says the French president, Emmanuel Macron, states Europe must reduce its dependence on the U.S. dollar to avoid becoming vassals. So what's a vassal? Let's look that up. I've never looked it up.
Vassal.
A holder of land by feudal tincture on conditions of homage and allegiance. Right here it says singular. Liegeman, man, bondsman. They don't want to be part of it no more. Subject, slave, thrall. See, the opposite is freeman, lord. See, they don't want to be a slave to the dollar anymore. That's what they're saying. They don't want to be a slave to this dollar no more. So the French President Emmanuel Macron recently revealed his stance in the current geopolitical and macroeconomic issues Europe is facing, standing in the middle of Russia-Ukraine war and a possible Taiwan conflict. It will be a conflict. Ain't nobody going to put 12 ships over that doggone place and train on blowing it up and attacking it, okay? And it just be possible. Do you know how much gas that's cost? You know how much petroleum that costs to move all that stuff just to practice? They're going to attack. His return from the 3-day visit to China, where he met with Chinese President Xi Jinping, Macron stated that Europe commonly gets caught with third-party affairs with this possibility of developing a strategic autonomy. You know, what's an autonomy? Look it up.
Autonomy.
The right or condition of self-government. See, what's third party? Coming in all this America, Babylon the Great, bull biggity, okay? It's messing up their ways of being able to do their own thing. Okay, they're not happy about that. Okay, so trying to find a way out. Okay, so we're gonna go with this, 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 19. Hold on. Hold on real quick. Hold on. Before we do that, because that's for another article that I have. So Psalms 91, verse 7. No, that's not it either. Where's that at? Because I had something Right here. Okay, I know what it is. I can just type it in. I usually try to have like have it all sorted out where I can go through them, but you just type it in. I'm adding my notes. Okay. Okay, so Ezekiel, therefore I will bring strangers upon me, all the swords against thy beauty and thy wisdom. That's what they're doing right now. They're preparing to destroy this place, but first they're going to be taken out, you know, all the stuff that's going on. So they're going to be taking out America, Babylon the Great, but first they got to take out the dollar. So now we're going to do Obadiah. It's just one of the major things that's happening right now. This is what's happening. You know, most people in America, Babylon the Great, don't think this is going to happen. It says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound unto thee. There is none understanding in him. So they're betraying this place. Okay, all of them are coming against this place. Okay, they're taking this place out. They don't want to be here no more. So now we're going to go over to this international anger as airstrike kills dozens in Myanmar. Okay. And this is in Southeast Asia. Okay. This happened on Wednesday. It's carried out a deadly attack on a village gathering organized by its insurgents' opponents this week, and civilians were also killed. It was because they were being forced to help the terrorists. At least 100 people, including children, were killed by Tuesday's airstrike in a Sangang area in the northwest Myanmar, according to media reports, as the United Nations and Western powers condemned the attacks and demanded accountability. Myanmar has been in chaos and the economy in tatters since the military seized power in February 2021 coup. But when I looked up that city, okay, you look it up, it talks about how, see, it says Bermuda is a resource-rich country, suffers from persuasive government controls, insufficient economic policies, and rural poverty. That's how it is over here. That place is just like over here. And they sent a whole bunch of bombs over there and killed over 100 people. You know, that's the kind of stuff that America, Babylon the Great is going to face in World War III. It's going to be a terrible time. Like, people don't understand the terrors that are coming to this nation. You know, they don't want to look. It's the anger that these other nations have. You know, that's a lot of death. You know, for them to just be bombing everything. They, like, look what they did, man. That's just a little bit, but they destroyed. They did an airstrike. You know, you do an airstrike to kill over 100 people, also children included, and not even check to see who's over there. That's the Lord giving them that evil thought. Hold on. That's what he did. He put an evil thought in their minds. That's what he's going to do with the other nations. They're going to destroy this place. Right now, they're warning Israel. He's warning Israel by having them do it over there. Ezekiel 38:10. Thus saith the Lord Bahasham, Yahawashi. It shall also come to pass at the same time, things shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. And this is what they doing. They thinking evilly. They don't not even caring about nothing. They just, yeah, we gonna strike them. We angry. You know, whenever you strike something based off of anger, like there was little kids in there that was forced to work for them people, but hey, that's the Lord, you know. Ain't nobody ever really comes out innocent at the end of the day. You know, if you was taken out this way, it's something you did out the last time you was here, or you know, it's the will of the Lord, you know. That's just how it is. But you know, these kids got destroyed, man. And it said they forced them to work. They were forcing them. So, you know, that's just something to keep in mind, you know. This stuff is not a game, you know. But Psalms 91, verse 7, I'm going to bring this up. And it reads, 1,000 shall fall at thy side and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. So there might be some of the elect out there. The elect is scattered across the four corners of the earth. But I'm telling you this, the elect was not touched in that situation. You know, that's how much faith we got to have. If somebody's bombing all the place everywhere around us, we got to have faith that we're going to be the only thing standing, because Yahawashi is with us. We have to have that kind of faith. You know, he's not going to put us through nothing that we can't handle. And, you know, especially being new brothers in the truth like me, you know, you're going to go through trials and tribulations. You're going to go through rebuke. You're going to go through failure, but you can't be afraid, because if you don't fail, then you can't succeed at the end of the day, you know. And if you got the elders and apostles rebuking you, you got them saying, you know, you need to get your shit together, it's because they ultimately want to see you make it. So take that stuff cheerfully, you know. And that's a lot of things I see wrong with some of the new followers. Take it cheerfully, and you know, they're trying to help you when it really comes down to it. Psalms chapter 7, verse 11 says, Yahawah judges the righteous, and Yahawah is angry with the wicked every day. And since he's angry with the wicked every day, he ordains stuff like that to happen, you know. And maybe some of those kids in there didn't do nothing wrong, but that means that they weren't even part of Israel. That means that they were nothing. They were one of the other nations, you know. Lord don't care about them. They casualties of war. But I'll tell you right now, out of them 100 people that got killed, Jake was somewhere in there and didn't want to repent and convert. And the Lord put that evil thought on them men, and they bombed the hell out of that place. Proverbs 18:21, and it reads, death and life are the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. So we're supposed to be speaking life, which is what? This truth. Bahasham, Yahawashi. And America Babylon the Great is they've taught nothing but death. They've literally spoke nothing but death. Like when you go look it up, like how you gonna say this place is all about peace? And it says the U.S. has been at war 222 years out of 239 years. It's been at war at 93% of the time since 1776. It's been at war. So that's how you know this place speaks death. These people are wicked. They're not gonna ever speak life. They're about death. They worship death. Okay? Because it's in the power in their hand. They practice it. It is in the power of their hand. Let me pull that up. Let me go on and pull it up. You know, it's a left-hand side. It's a left-hand side of the Lord blessing, a wicked blessing, but they're gonna have to pay for it. Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. They got a whole bunch of intercontinental ballistic missiles and weapons and all types of stuff. So that's why they do that, because they have it in the power of their hand. But soon the Lord's going to take it away from them. But first, he's got to use them to take out, you know, Jake, 2/3. because they don't want to repent and convert. So Psalm chapter 30, verse 8, land of the enemy, thou hast set my feet in a large room. Have mercy upon me, O Lord, Yahawashi, for I am in trouble. See, we're asking the Lord for mercy. So we won't go through nothing like that. So we won't wake up and get blown up. Mine eye is consumed with grief, yea, my soul and my belly, you know. But it said Yahawashi was also a man of grief, you know. He went through tough times. Yahawashi did. He went through tough times and grief too. But we're asking the Lord through our troubles and our afflictions in this slavery to deliver us. So, you know, that's just a little bit with that. Right here, evacuate immediately, brief alert, Japan after North Korea missile launch. So they launched a missile and Slovakia. Okay, so Japan, Hadakio take shelter Thursday morning after the North said the missile would not land near the North region. Evacuate immediately. The government said in an initial warning telling residents of Hokkaido to take shelter in a building or underground. The warning said the missile was expected to land around 8 a.m. local time. Not long after, Asakawa City and Hokkaido tweeted that there was no longer any concern of danger. So you're gonna get a lot of these warnings like this, you know, but it's gonna come to the point where this is gonna be real, you know, and they playing around with it, you know, they played around with it, not warning, you know, they playing around with it and they just they don't understand what's going on. You know, they don't understand that someday this is going to truly take into effect. So this is a way of, I feel like it's a way of panicking the people again. You know how you going to put out some kind of threat like that and it not happen? But you see, the men of the Lord, we're really showing you, hey, this is going to happen. We don't know when it's going to happen, but our warning is actually real. It ain't going to be something that, oh, it ain't happen. Oh, this is going to happen. Revelation chapter 9, verse 16, and the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them. And thus I saw the horses in a vision, and in them and them that sat on them having breastplates of fire. That's one of these things right here, breastplates of fire. And of jacinth and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were the heads of lions. Not else issue fire, smoke, and brimstone. That's what's coming for Babylon the Great. Isaiah 54:16. And it reads, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument to his work, and I have created the waster to destroy. Okay, he created the waster to destroy this place. Okay. So right now, we're going to deal with this. A truck carrying 40,000 pounds of toxic soil from East Palestine, train derailment overturns on the highway. So let's just start right here. Truck carrying around 4,000 pounds of contaminated soil from the site of train derailment where officials released toxic chemicals into the area. Oh, man. So anyways, truck carrying around 40,000 pounds of contaminated soil from the site of a train derailment in Ohio where officials released toxic chemicals into the area to prevent explosion overturned on the highway this week, officials said. The commercial vehicle was headed north on State Route 165 when careened off the Broadway and overturned onto its right side. The Ohio Emergency Management Agency said in a statement citing Ohio State Highway Patrol, the incident happened on Monday in Unity Township of Youngstown, Ohio. Reported the driver sustained minor injuries. Around 20,000 pounds of contaminated soil spilled into the roadway and berm in emergency management said. The Ohio Environmental Protection Agency determined that the spill had been contaminated, was not considered a threat to nearby waterways. The emergency agency said, but we know that's what they said about everything exploding over there. They said also it wasn't, something that contaminated the waterways, and it did. It was animals dying, people dying. You can't trust these people. Okay, so this is Jeremiah 49:10. Says, I have made Esau bare, and I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his seed is spoiled, and his brethren, his neighbors, and he is not. And it's basically saying he's going to be taken out of the way. He's going to be destroyed. But his secret places have been uncovered. We know that he's the one causing this. He's the one allowing things like this to happen. For a truck full of 40,000 pounds of toxic soil from the train derailment suddenly overturned on the highway. Something had to be. It had to be something that they was, something they doing. But it's definitely the Lord doing it, and it's the angels doing it. The angels do the Lord's bidding. So this is urgent warning amid fears outbreak of deadly bleeding disease has spread. It is one of the most deadly infectious diseases in the world and has a 90% fatality rate and epidemic potential. Okay. And this is what's going on. It said at least 35 cases and up to 32 deaths. This is what's going on over there in Africa right now. And this is the stuff that the Lord is putting on the curses of Jake. Because Jake is out there somewhere, and the Lord is making him pay for it. And everybody else is just casualties of war. So I'm going to go right here. And it says Jeremiah 21, verse 6, and it reads, I will smite the inhabitants of the city, both man and beast, they shall die of a great pestilence. And that's what's coming. He's smiting this earth. Psalms 58, 78, 50. He has made a way to his anger and spared not their soul from death, but gave their life over to the pestilence. So these people who are dying and from these pestilences, the Lord is giving them over to them. And definitely because some of them are Jake, they don't repent. And some of them are just casualties of war because they're the other nations. Psalms 91:3. Surely he will deliver thee from the snare and the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. And that's what we pray to Yahawashi and Yahawashi for, that he relieves us of these pestilences and these things that are coming upon the earth, and to deliver us from the day of evil. So that's what the Lord put the spirit on me to deal with today. Lord willing, is edifying to the flock at some point. And I want to give all praise to Barak Yahawah, Barak Yahawashi, Barak Yahawashi. Got to give all praise to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. Want to give double honors to those in the apostles of the great millstone. Led me to this truth. Been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, and show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who are part of the elect, whomever they may be, and to the hopeful elect. Lord, willing we be part of that number. Lord, willing us be edifying to those who fear in the name of the Lord and are striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness to the best of their abilities. Every day his judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 9, and it's not slack. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9. So Shalom. And Lord willing, we can exalt the name of Bahasham Yahawashi another day. So, wa abal babal. Shalom.